an ancient continent, vast and untamed, where the land breathes with stories older than time itself. Here, beneath endless skies and across sprawling landscapes, survival is a daily struggle written in dust, shadow, and blood. At the heart of this wilderness live the ultimate predators. They are nature's finest creations, shaped by millions of years of evolution into hunters of unmatched skill. Lions command the open plains, their roars echoing like thunder, a reminder that they are rulers of the savanna. Leopards slip silently through dense woodlands, masters of stealth whose presence is known only when it is too late. The cheetah, built for speed, transforms every chase into a high-stakes pursuit of life and death. In the waterways, crocodiles lie in wait with ancient patience, their ambush sudden, swift, and absolute. But this land of predators is not defined by violence alone. Each hunter is a keeper of balance, ensuring that the great herds do not overwhelm the fragile ecosystems. The wildebeest migration, the movements of zebra and gazelle, even the nesting of birds, all are shaped by the shadow of these hunters. Predators are not destroyers, they are guardians of equilibrium, silently holding together the web of life. And yet, Africa remains a place of mystery. Beyond the familiar giants, other predators roam. The painted wolves, whose teamwork rivals the most disciplined armies. The hyena, cunning and resourceful, often underestimated yet vital to the circle of survival. And the birds of prey, whose keen eyes dominate the skies. To step into Africa is to enter a realm where beauty and brutality coexist. Every dawn brings new stories of courage, rivalry, and resilience. Every dusk whispers of survival hard-won beneath a fading sun. This is not merely the story of predators. It is the story of Africa itself, majestic, mysterious, and eternal. Before we take you deep into the heart of Africa's mysteries, share with us where you're watching from. We're truly excited to connect with you. Welcome to the mysterious heart of Africa, a realm ruled by the ultimate predators. The crimson sky spills its fiery glow across the still waters of the Rufi River. As the sun dips beneath the horizon, a shadow darts past, cheetah. Swift and silent, an arrow of muscle and grace, carving through dust and silence, leaving only a blur and the echo of quiet despair. Not far behind, a lion stalks the savanna, low to the ground, each step melting into the rhythm of the wind. No rush, no waste, just the chilling patience of a night predator. Nearby, a herd of elephants arrives at the marsh. Trunks lift, curl, and plunge, pulling streams of water from the earth with explosive bursts of spray. Every movement here matters. Even the slightest motion could shift the balance, because Neri doesn't make room for bystanders. Hippos anchor the riverbed. Buffalo must guard every sip of water with caution. One misstep, and the wild takes its toll. Across grasslands and rolling hills, predators lie in wait, fangs sheathed, muscles coiled, ready for the first mistake, because in this land there is no mercy. Here, in this vast and undisturbed wild, African wild dog packs thrive. Their life cycles remain stable, unbroken by human interference, unthreatened by the fragmented territories that plague so many elsewhere. Sparse imprints of black rhinoceros track across the dry earth, quiet traces of a relic from another age. These ancient beings survive here, protected fiercely from the shadows of poaching that haunt much of their range. Above the treetops, the deep, echoing calls of the southern ground hornbill ripple through the forest. Sounds that have gone silent in many other corners of the continent still ring out here, bold, unbroken. Mwerere is more than just a refuge. It's a last stand, a stronghold against extinction, a place where nature is still allowed to mend itself, and where endangered species are free to carry on their story, on their own terms. Now shift your gaze below the water's surface. Here, beneath the shaded banks, where the floodplain forest locks in moisture year-round, another giant lies submerged, silent and still. Herds of hippopotamuses rest in the cooling shallows, their massive forms cloaked by murky water, waiting for night to fall and the land to call them ashore. They surface only briefly, taking a breath every few minutes before vanishing once more beneath the river's calm facade. As night falls, they emerge silently from the water, treading ancient, well-worn paths toward the open grasslands. Here, under the cover of darkness, each individual may graze on up to 40 kilograms of fresh grass in a single night. Though they do not hunt, these giants, strict herbivores, do not go unchallenged. Lions and Nile crocodiles sometimes linger near the riverbanks, posing a threat to the young or the weak, especially when the dry season shrinks the lifeline of water. Yet few creatures dare to confront a fully grown hippopotamus, weighing between 1,500 and 1,800 kilograms, with jaws capable of opening to an astonishing 150 degrees. The hippo is a living embodiment of raw power and unyielding resilience. They are not predators, but when provoked, they've been known to take down crocodiles, African buffalo, even humans. In the riparian woodlands of Nair, hippo herds are often matriarchal, led by older females. Dominant males, meanwhile, patrol beneath the surface, guarding territories with silent vigilance. Their survival is not just physical, it's evolutionary. The hippopotamus shares a distant lineage with whales, their mutual ancestor, a semi-aquatic creature from the artiodactyl order known as Indohus, roamed the earth some 55 million years ago. Part land dweller, part swimmer, Indohus eventually gave rise to two distinct branches, one adapted entirely to the sea, evolving into whales. The other remained semi-aquatic and became today's hippo. Despite their differences, whales and hippos still share striking biological traits: low-frequency underwater communication, water-based birthing, and the remarkable ability to hold their breath for up to 6 minutes, thanks to a highly efficient oxygen regulation system. Even the pink sweat secreted from a hippo's skin serves more than one purpose. It acts as both a natural sunscreen and a powerful antibacterial shield, perfect for Africa's unforgiving climate. But their role extends far beyond survival. Hippos are vital architects of river ecosystems. Through their muck-spreading behavior, they redistribute nutrients across aquatic habitats, allowing aquatic plants to thrive. This, in turn, nourishes fish populations, fish that sustain iconic avian predators like the African fish eagle and Pell's fishing owl. Sharing this watery domain is another figure, sometimes rival, sometimes neighbor: the Nile crocodile. Patient and silent, it lies in wait just beneath the surface, with only its eyes, ears, and nostrils exposed. Perfectly still, perfectly poised, awaiting the fatal moment when an unsuspecting animal steps forward for a drink. With a bite force reaching approximately 22,400 newtons, it holds the crown as the dominant predator along the riverbanks. This extraordinary power comes from large muscle groups developed around the skull and lower jaw, specialized for snapping the jaws shut with immense force. But such evolution comes at a surprising trade-off. The muscles responsible for opening the jaws are so small and weak that even a thin strip of tape could keep a fully grown crocodile's mouth shut. This reveals a clear evolutionary priority. Nile crocodiles have maximized offensive strength at the expense of flexibility. They don't need agile jaw control, as they rely on explosive bursts to clamp down on prey in an instant. Another remarkable trait is their ability to hold their breath for up to 2 hours when completely still, thanks to a mechanism that stores lactic acid in their blood. Even more curious, the gender of Nile crocodile hatchlings is determined by incubation temperature. Below 30 Celsius mostly yields females, while above 32 Celsius mostly produces males. This biological quirk allows populations to self-regulate their male-to-female ratio in response to climate fluctuations. Within the riparian forest and riverine woodland ecosystems, Nile crocodiles help regulate populations of fish and mammals that come to drink. During the dry season, as fish concentrate in shrinking pools, crocodiles move closer to the riverbanks, improving hunting success and asserting their territory with low-frequency underwater rumbles. With top swimming speeds of up to 35 kilometers per hour and the ability to strike suddenly, Nile crocodiles not only hunt with remarkable efficiency, but also help ease pressure on other thirsty wildlife like hippos and elephants, keeping the delicate balance of the river's edge intact. Stepping out from the humid riverine forests, the landscape opens into vast savannas and sweeping miombo woodlands that stretch all the way to the horizon. It's a place of dryness and intense heat, yet it forms the biological heart of Nyeri National Park. With its mix of shrubs, tall grasses, and the signature miombo trees, especially Brachystegia and Julbernardia, This region offers a perfect habitat for the park's most powerful predators. Two distinct rainy seasons bring between 750 and 1,300 millimeters of rainfall each year, breathing life into the landscape and setting the rhythm for plant growth cycles. In contrast, the prolonged dry season, marked by minimal rainfall, forces wildlife to travel longer distances in search of water and food. This harshness is precisely what drives the remarkable survival strategies found across this terrain. In this sun-scorched, sparsely vegetated land where rain is a rarity, the African elephant not only survives, it transforms its environment. Through sheer intelligence and powerful social bonds, it shapes the landscape to its will. As deeply social creatures, elephants live in tightly knit herds, typically led by an experienced matriarch. She guides their movements, imparts crucial knowledge, and shields the young on their perilous journey through the wild. The elephant's trunk is more than a tool. It's a lifeline. With over 40,000 muscles, it performs a wide range of tasks, plucking tender leaves, snapping thick branches, digging for hidden groundwater, and even carving paths and waterholes that benefit countless other species. This muscular marvel can draw up to 12 liters of water in a single pull, an essential skill in searing heat where temperatures often soar beyond 33 degrees Celsius. Their spatial memory is extraordinary. Elephants can recall the locations of dozens of seasonal water sources and feeding grounds, traversing up to 30 kilometers a day in search of them, an advantage that proves vital during long droughts. Just like their Asian relatives, the African elephant herd revolves around the oldest female, the matriarch. But her leadership isn't earned through dominance. It's won through wisdom. Her memory and decision-making can mean the difference between life and death for the group. African elephants also possess remarkable emotional intelligence. They engage in greeting rituals, share food, and mourn their dead with touching displays of grief. Behaviors that hint at a depth of feeling rarely seen in the animal kingdom. In the brutal world of the savannah, this emotional complexity doesn't make them vulnerable. It makes them among the most resilient and socially intricate beings on Earth. According to a 2024 report by the Worldwide Fund for Nature, the African elephant population in the Nyerere ecosystem has rebounded to nearly 20,000 individuals, a conservation triumph amid escalating climate challenges and the shadow of poaching. Once brought to the brink by the ivory trade, elephant numbers are now stabilizing, thanks to rigorous monitoring and grassroots efforts. Community-led conservation has given these giants a second chance. As the great herds fade into the horizon, their silhouettes swallowed by the golden dust, another chapter begins. From the grasses, towering figures emerge, the Africa buffalo, stepping into the open savanna like ancient warriors. They gather in vast numbers beneath the unforgiving African sun. Stoic, enduring, and unyielding, the African buffalo stands as a living symbol of resistance and survival. During the rainy season, these formidable animals come together in massive herds, sometimes numbering in the thousands. It's more than a spectacle, it's a strategy. In such large numbers, individuals reduce their chances of being singled out by predators, especially lions, in the arid savanna and woodland zones. Buffalo are a favorite target for lions. A 2024 study revealed they account for 46% of lion hunting attempts and provide over half the total biomass consumed. This intense pressure has shaped the buffalo's behavior, giving rise to extraordinary defense tactics. When danger looms, calves are instinctively shielded at the center of the herd, while the strongest males form a living wall at the perimeter. These defenders don't flee, they fight. Armed with curved horns and raw muscle, they have been seen confronting and even repelling lions in dramatic displays of force and unity. Recent genomic research conducted between 2023 and 2024 uncovered that African buffalo possess a genome of approximately 2.65 gigabase pairs, with significant signs of natural selection in immune-related genes. It's a genetic testament to the constant battle for survival and the species' remarkable adaptability. Buffalo herds prefer open savannas close to water, migrating with the rhythm of the seasons to chase greener pastures and avoid scarcity. As the sun dips below the horizon, shadows stretch across the plains and a hushed tension sets in. The buffalo grow alert. Somewhere in the tall grass, a lion moves, silent and unseen, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. In the dry savannas and woodlands of Nyerere, the lion's hunt is more than a primal instinct. It's a masterclass in coordination and strategy. Unlike their counterparts in more trafficked reserves, like the Serengeti and Masai Mara, where artificial relocations and fragmented corridors have led to genetic mixing, the lions of Nyerere remain wild and genetically construct. Isolated by nature, their bloodlines have endured with rare purity. Here, hunting is a calculated team effort. Prides move silently through towering mambo grasses, which can grow up to 2 meters high, perfect natural cover for the ambush ahead. Each lion plays a role in this deadly choreography. Lionesses, swift and agile, initiate the ambush and execute complex flanking maneuvers. When it's time to bring down a formidable target, like a full-grown African buffalo, it's the males who surge forward, their power critical in the final takedown. A 2024 study in these arid zones revealed a clear preference. 56% of successful lion hunts target African buffalo. These prey account for over half the total food mass consumed by a pride. And during the dry season, when buffalo travel farther for water and visibility is reduced by the tall grass, the lion's advantage grows even greater. Recent camera trap data from Matame, a prey-rich waterhole deep within Nyerere, recorded a staggering lion density of 6.27 adults per 100 square kilometers in the dry season. Compare that to just 0.33 per 100 square kilometers in the eastern saltgrass plains of Celis. The difference underscores a fundamental truth. A stable prey base, especially buffalo, is vital to sustaining a thriving lion population. But in the wild, no meal is ever guaranteed. Just as the lion settles in to enjoy its hard-fought prize, a presence stirs in the shadows, cunning, watchful eyes that have followed the action from a distance. Before the lion even notices, the carcass is gone. In such cases, there's one prime suspect, the spotted hyena. Across the dry savannas and woodlands of Nair National Park, a cunning force prowls both day and night, the spotted hyena. Often mischaracterized as mere scavengers, these formidable predators are, in truth, among Africa's most successful hunters. Blending the instincts of both predator and opportunist, hyenas operate with remarkable versatility. They roam the landscape in large clans, sometimes numbering between 20 and 80 individuals. Within these clans exists a social structure as complex as that of primates, dynamic, hierarchical, and deeply cooperative. This cohesion allows them to execute strategic hunts and fiercely defend their territory. A 2024 study revealed that spotted hyenas acquire between 60 to 95% of their food through active hunting, particularly excelling against prey like wildebeest and impala. Group coordination, speed, and relentless endurance make them lethal in pursuit. While they may lack the raw stature of lions, hyenas rival them in every other way. The two species compete intensely, sharing nearly 60% of the same food sources. During the dry season, when water becomes scarce and prey flocks to dwindling waterholes, hyenas exploit the cover of darkness and the open terrain. They often arrive after lions have fed, or sometimes they steal the meal entirely. But in Nair, hyenas don't simply scavenge, they hunt on their own terms. Small hunting parties, usually 2 to 5 individuals, target mid-sized prey, chasing down antelope at speeds reaching 60 kilometers per hour. And in this region, their hunting success rates often match or even exceed those of lions, thanks to adaptable strategies and high efficiency in semi-open woodland terrain. Beneath their cunning lies sheer power. The spotted hyena boasts the strongest bite force of any land carnivore in the Hyenidae family, up to 4,500 newtons, capable of crushing massive bones, even those of buffalo and giraffe. Their advantage goes beyond strength. With exceptional agility, hearing that extends up to 10 kilometers, and an array of deceptive vocalizations, hyenas hold a distinct tactical edge in the fierce contest for food. Yet their role in the ecosystem runs deeper than predation. As nature's ultimate recyclers, hyenas consume nearly every part of a carcass, bones, hooves, and all, ensuring nothing is wasted. In doing so, they cleanse the landscape, preventing the spread of disease and sustaining the delicate balance of life in the wild. In this harsh, sun-beaten land, the spotted hyena emerges not as a villain, but as a vital, intelligent survivor, perfectly adapted for Africa. Comes at a steep evolutionary cost. The cheetah's body is engineered for sprinting. Long limbs, a lightweight frame, and a fused spine create the perfect spring for explosive movement. Its narrow joints and elongated muscles produce long, fluid strides, effortless yet deadly. But what it gains in speed, it sacrifices in power. Unlike the lion or the leopard, the cheetah cannot climb with ease, nor can it defend its kill from stronger rivals. Its lightweight skull, designed for aerodynamic efficiency, results in a weaker bite force, limiting its ability to crush bones or grip larger prey. This fragility extends to the genetic level. Twice in the past 100,000 years and again just 12,000 years ago, the species endured severe genetic bottlenecks. As a result, today's cheetah population shares less than 4% of the genetic diversity typical of other mammals. The consequences are stark: high rates of malformed sperm, weakened immune systems, and poor adaptability to environmental shifts. Even reproduction is precarious. Pregnant females are highly sensitive to stress, and something as simple as a loud noise can disrupt gestation. Fewer than 8,000 individuals remain in the wild across Africa. Here and there, speed is both a blessing and a burden. The cheetah hunting strategy depends on keen eyesight and raw acceleration, targeting prey over short distances in broad daylight. But that burst of speed is brief, just 20 to 30 seconds, before overheating threatens collapse. And while the cheetah excels in the chase, it falters in the aftermath. It lacks the brute force to defend its kill, the stealth to avoid detection, and the social bonds to hunt cooperatively or ward off threats. A solitary specialist in a land of opportunistic competitors. In a world that favors power, numbers, and endurance, the cheetah is a fleeting blaze of brilliance, an evolutionary outlier hanging on in a race against time. In stark contrast to the cheetah's solitary sprint, the African wild dog thrives through unity, hunting not alone, but as a pack, in perfect coordination. It begins with silence, a slow, synchronized advance across the open plains, each individual aware of its role. No sound, no signal, just instinct and an unspoken bond. In a land where success favors strategy and deep-rooted social connection, this is one of nature's most brilliantly evolved hunting methods. A 2025 camera trap study in the Salera region recorded 141 African wild dogs, dispersed across 24 packs. Most groups averaged 6 members, though some powerful clans reached up to 23, each one a tight-knit unit, forged by necessity and bound by trust. These are not mere hunters, are elite pursuit predators. With success rates ranging from 60 to 90%, wild dogs far outperform the lion or the leopard. Each hunt unfolds like a symphony. Members communicate through a series of high-pitched chirps and whines, tracking not only the prey, but also the position and movement of every packmate. Encouragement echoes between them, helping maintain focus and stamina through long-distance chases. Capable of reaching speeds up to 65 kilometers per hour, they can maintain a relentless pursuit over 2 to 4 kilometers, gradually wearing their prey down, then surrounding and overwhelming it with precision. They move together, rest together, hunt together. And when the dry season shifts the rhythm of the land, they shift with it, expanding or contracting their territory as needed, often taking refuge in abandoned aardvark or warthog dens to raise their young. But perhaps their most extraordinary trait lies not in their hunting, but in their compassion. In wild dog society, care is shared. Stronger adults regurgitate food not only for pups, but for older or injured pack members, a rare expression of empathy in the wild. Parenting is communal, survival a shared endeavor. Today, Nyerere supports the largest known population of African wild dogs anywhere on the continent, between 800 and 1,000 individuals. They sweep across the savannah like a living current, fluid, efficient, and quietly magnificent. In every coordinated chase and every selfless gesture, they offer us a glimpse into one of the most profound success stories in Africa's wild heart. Not just survival of the fittest, but survival of the most united. Across the open savannas and scattered woodlands, one figure towers above all, the Angolan giraffe, also known as the smoky giraffe. With its immense height, this gentle giant has evolved to browse the treetops, reaching a leafy realm far beyond the grasp of ground-dwelling grazers. There, among the upper canopy, it finds its preferred nourishment, nutrient-rich leaves kissed by the sun. This towering advantage spares the giraffe from direct competition with other herbivores, like impalas or African buffalo. But what it gains in elevation, it forfeits in mobility. Drinking presents a peculiar challenge. To lower its head to a waterhole, the giraffe must splay its long front legs or bend awkwardly at the knees, placing it in one of the most vulnerable positions in the animal kingdom. Being the tallest land mammal on Earth comes at a cost, but nature, ever the master of balance, has equipped the giraffe with extraordinary internal adaptations. A sophisticated system of valves within its arteries and veins manages blood flow along its elongated neck, preventing a dangerous surge to the brain whenever it bends down, and its heart, an 11-kilogram powerhouse, generates the immense pressure required to pump blood up to a height of nearly 6 meters. During the rainy season, shallow pools are abundant, but even then, giraffes often prefer to hydrate through the moisture-rich foliage of acacia and commiphora trees. In the dry season, when water becomes scarce, they are forced to take greater risks. Venturing to exposed waterholes, they become easy targets ambushed by stealthy lions or lurking Nile crocodiles. Yet the giraffe endures. Blessed with a remarkable tolerance for dehydration, it can survive for 2 to 3 days without drinking, relying instead on the water stored in its leafy diet. In a world that demands both height and humility, the giraffe stands as a graceful sentinel, watchful, silent, and magnificently adapted to life above the treetops. Across the savannas and open woodlands, the Angolan giraffe, also known as the smoky giraffe, uses its remarkable height to browse from the lofty upper canopy, where nutrient-rich leaves await. This towering advantage grants it exclusive access to food sources beyond the reach of most herbivores, avoiding direct competition with ground-level grazers like African buffalo or impala. But this height comes at a cost. To drink, the giraffe must splay its front legs awkwardly or bend at the knees, assuming a position that leaves it exposed and vulnerable. Holding the title of the tallest land animal on Earth demands extraordinary internal adaptations. A complex network of valves along the neck stabilizes blood pressure, preventing a dangerous surge to the brain when lowering its head. Its heart, weighing up to 11 kilograms, pumps with powerful force to circulate blood through a body that can reach 6 meters tall. During the rainy season, shallow pools provide easier access to water. Still, giraffes often prefer to hydrate from moisture-rich leaves of acacia and commiphora trees. In the dry season, when water becomes scarce, they're forced to take greater risks, approaching waterholes where lions or Nile crocodiles may be lurking. Yet with a high tolerance for dehydration, giraffes can endure 2 to 3 days without drinking, relying on the water content of their leafy diet to sustain them. Degrees Celsius. For some, it's a reprieve. For one, it's opportunity. The leopard. A solitary figure, silent, commanding. Where lions roar to announce their power, the leopard rules through absence of sound. Every creature here knows that silence is the mark of its reign. Its golden coat, freckled with black rosettes, dissolves into bark and shadow. Its eyes burn like coals in the twilight. Yet, the short grasses of the dry season limit its cover. So the leopard turns to a different stage, the watering holes. Here, thirst draws all life together. And here, the leopard waits. Research in biological conservation confirms that during the dry months, leopards increase their hunting success by as much as 7% when ambushing near water. At night, their world expands. GPS tracking reveals they travel nearly twice as far after sunset than in daylight. Males patrol vast territories, asserting dominance. Females with cubs tread carefully, restricting their range to shield their young from rival males, who may kill cubs not their own, forcing the female back into estrus. In this harsh season, such infanticide becomes more frequent. But the females fight back with strategy, concealing their young, moving dens, and mating with multiple males to blur paternity, an evolutionary safeguard against extinction. When the hunt begins, the leopard becomes a shadow. Flattened low, each step is a whisper across the dust, closing the distance with surgical precision. A single burst, and the silence explodes. Large prey are subdued with a suffocating bite to the throat or nape. Smaller victims are dispatched with a swift bite to the skull. But the kill is not complete until it is hidden. On average, the leopard drags its prey nearly 100 meters to cover, often hoisting it into the high branches of a tree, sometimes over 10 meters above the ground. Hanging carcasses sway like grim trophies, a declaration of ownership against lions and hyenas. The leopard is not bound to the earth alone. Though rarely seen, it can swim, crossing streams and narrow rivers when the need arises. In the dry season, as lakes shrink, this ability is seldom used, and the leopard instead shifts its focus to larger prey, storing energy for the lean days ahead. Here, in the grip of the dry season, the leopard endures, not through strength and numbers, but through silence, stealth, and an unrivaled mastery of adaptation. They hunt with precision, waiting for the perfect moment, never allowing prey to slip away. Here, the leopard's true weapons reveal themselves: extraordinary hearing and night vision. Its eyes are equipped with a tapetum lucidum, a reflective layer that captures every fragment of light, granting clear sight in near darkness. Its ears catch the faintest stir, the crunch of a hoof on dry leaves, the flick of a rodent tail. Even its claws withdraw completely, ensuring each step remains silent. A muscular frame delivers sudden, explosive bursts of speed, and when the leopard speaks, it does not roar. It coughs, a rasping call, low and hoarse, carrying just far enough through the woodland night to stake its claim. Not a cry to intimidate, but a signal, clear, deliberate, and understood by rivals. Through this stealth and selectivity, the leopard plays an unseen role in shaping the ecosystem. It regulates mid-sized species, small antelope, warthogs, even rodents, preventing imbalance and cascading collapse. Unlike lions or hyenas, which dominate through brute force, the leopard preserves stability through solitude, silence, and precision. Modern conservationists recognize its importance. The Serengeti Biodiversity Initiative, in a 2025 report, continues to track leopards as ecological indicators. Where leopards persist, balance endures. Their survival signals a healthy system still intact. But the leopard's mastery comes at a price. For every step it takes deeper into survival, another life must falter. In the order of the wild, the endurance of one demands the fall of another. And as the herds fade into the distance, the Nile crocodile drifts silently beneath the water's surface, waiting for nightfall. Beyond the clearing, Another figure enters the stage, the Maasai giraffe. Stepping gracefully into the gaps the elephants have left behind. Towering above the acacias, it feeds on the tender canopy, a sentinel of the savanna's highest reaches. This is the tallest of all giraffe species and the tallest land animal on Earth. An adult Maasai giraffe can stand as high as 5.9 meters, with nearly half of that height carried in its long, elegant neck. This remarkable build allows them to reach treetops few other herbivores can touch. During the rainy season, when acacia trees burst with fresh leaves, they feed from the canopy downwards. In doing so, they thin the crown, keeping it from growing too dense, and maintain the openness that defines the woodland. Sunlight filters through the gaps they create, nurturing grasses and lower plants that feed countless other species. But their towering stature also carries a hidden vulnerability. To drink, a giraffe must splay its legs or bend its knees to reach the water's surface, a moment of dangerous exposure. In that posture, they become prime targets for lions or leopards. To minimize risk, they choose wide, open watering holes, drink in rapid gulps, and then snap their heads upright, ever alert to danger. Socially, giraffes are fluid in their gatherings. During the rains, they often form temporary groups known as towers. These loose herds, made up of individuals of all ages and sexes, assemble briefly around abundant trees or watering spots. Though there is no hierarchy, safety lies in numbers. More eyes scanning the horizon means less chance of being caught off guard. Yet this giant of the savannah is now under threat. Since 2019, the Maasai giraffe has been classified as endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Over the last 3 decades, their numbers have plummeted by nearly half, from 70,000 to just around 32,000 in the wild as of 2024. Habitat loss, human encroachment, and poaching, whether for meat or body parts used in traditional practices, have all pushed these animals toward decline. Their story is a stark reminder. Even the tallest creatures on Earth can be brought low by pressures rising from below. The crown of the savannah belongs to only one, the lion. Unlike others, it has no need for rivalry or recognition. As apex predator, it knows its place, both as hunter and as keystone in the ecosystem's balance. Within the pride, roles are clear. The dominant male defends territory and cubs, while the lionesses, sleek, precise, and powerful, carry out the hunt. From the edge of woodlands, where shadow meets open grass, they lie in wait. This threshold is the death line, the boundary every prey must cross. Here, lionesses strike with coordinated force. The male holds back, standing sentinel against threats. Yet, tradition governs the feast. Even after a successful kill, the first bite belongs to him, a reflection of the pride's strict hierarchy. Lions are unique among cats. They live in prides, complex social units bound by cooperation, hunting, defending, and raising the young together. Males, with their thick manes, impress rivals and lionesses alike. More than ornament, the mane serves as armor, shielding the head and neck in battle. The darker and fuller the mane, the stronger and more desirable the male, as studies from the University of Minnesota reveal. A lion's roar, carrying up to 8 kilometers, proclaims dominance across the plains. It defends territory, summons allies, and keeps bonds strong in the vastness of night. For young males, life is unforgiving. At 2 to 3 years of age, they are cast out, forced to wander in search of their own realm. When they seize a pride, they often eliminate rivals' cubs, driving females into estrus, a brutal but effective strategy to secure their own lineage. A lion's territory may span 20 to 400 square kilometers, each boundary marked with scent and thunderous roars. During the dry season, water holes become magnets for prey and ambush grounds for lions. They wait by rivers, rocky outcrops, or thick cover, relying less on speed than patience and teamwork. Capable of bursts up to 80 kilometers per hour, they cannot sustain them for long, making stealth and coordination essential. Diet shifts with place and season. In the western Serengeti corridor, zebras may form nearly half of their prey, alongside buffalo, wildebeest, and warthogs. In the Masai Mara, buffalo hunts grow more common. Yet lions do not simply follow prey abundance, they choose terrain that favors the ambush. Hunting success averages just 20 to 30%. To conserve energy, lions rest up to 20 hours a day, reserving their power for the cool veil of night or the break of dawn. But even rulers are not untouchable. Across Africa, lion numbers are falling. A 2025 study in conservation biology warns that prey loss is driving population declines. It is a stark reminder. If the balance between predator and prey is broken, the entire savanna could shift. And in the open grasslands, there can be only one true sprinter: the cheetah. The cheetah is the fastest land animal on Earth, capable of reaching speeds of up to 120 kilometers per hour in mere seconds. Acceleration that rivals a Ferrari. This astonishing performance is made possible by a lightweight frame, a streamlined body, long, powerful hind limbs, and a tail that works like a rudder, steering each sudden turn with precision. But speed comes with a cost. Their narrow skull reduces wind resistance, yet it also leaves them with weaker jaws and shorter canines, ill-suited for prolonged struggles or defending a kill against larger rivals. To survive, cheetahs select their battles carefully, focusing on the vulnerable, the young, the solitary, the stragglers of the herd. Before the chase begins, a cheetah climbs a termite mound or low rise, scanning wind direction and the movements of gazelles. Like a sentry on watch, it waits for the perfect moment. When the distance narrows to less than 100 meters, the sprint begins. Explosive, lightning fast, but brief, rarely more than 300 meters, before exhaustion and overheating set in. For years, scientists believed overheating forced cheetahs to abandon hunts, but research at the University of the Witwatersrand revealed otherwise. Body temperatures during the chase rarely exceed 38.4 degrees Celsius, rising only after a successful kill, triggered not by exertion but by stress. Even with these limits, cheetahs are remarkably efficient hunters. In the Serengeti, they succeed in 40 to 50% of their attempts against Thompson's gazelles. A female can provide around 10 kilograms of food daily for her family, though she consumes less herself. To maximize success, cheetahs hunt during the twilight hours of dawn and dusk, when the savanna is cooler and dominant predators less active. Yet, unlike leopards, they cannot retract their claws. This gives them unmatched traction while running, but denies them the ability to climb trees or hoist their kills out of danger. Every hunt must be consumed on the ground, vulnerable to theft. Indeed, up to 12% of their kills are stolen moments after the takedown by lions or hyenas. The cheetah's existence is one of constant risk. Their reproductive rate is low, and their young are perilously fragile. In the wild, as many as 90% of cubs under 3 months do not survive. Hidden in the grass while their mother hunts, a single discovery by a predator can end an entire litter. Cheetahs roam vast territories, ranging from 450 to 1,500 square kilometers, patrolled with quiet efficiency. Unlike lions, they defend these ranges not with violence, but with scent, marking the land with minimal conflict. Here, on the endless plains, the cheetah is both the epitome of speed and the embodiment of fragility. Africa's most elegant hunter, racing against time, rivals, and the odds themselves. This is Tanzania's largest river system, and with each rainy season, the forest renews itself. Sediments settle, life regrows, and as the dry months return, the roots of this ecosystem reach deep, quietly maintaining underground water reserves and regulating a stable microclimate. This landscape is not just surviving, it's anchoring. It holds together the delicate rhythm of life for everything that depends on it. A biological compass guiding survival for species far beyond its borders. A sanctuary not only of nature, but of resilience. As the sun begins to dip below the horizon, golden light filters through the trees along the banks of the Rufi River. On the low-hanging branches, a troop of vervet monkeys gathers, petite bodies cloaked in sleek gray coats, framed by the soft glow of dusk. They're drawn to the cool refuge of the floodplain forest, where the roots of ficus and syzygium trees trap precious moisture, sustaining hidden water reserves through the harsh, dry season. Vervet monkeys live in tightly knit social groups, ranging from 10 to 50 individuals. Within these dynamic communities, every member plays a role in survival. Their pale bluish-gray fur and jet-black faces make them instantly recognizable. But it's their language, an intricate system of vocal calls and gestures that allows them to thrive. Each alarm, each warning, echoes like a code, maximizing the troop's ability to detect and escape threats. Masters of survival, Vervets rely on sharp memory, flexible diets, and an almost instinctive understanding of their environment. They track seasonal fruiting patterns and adjust their movements with precision, conserving energy, always planning ahead. Studies from Lake Manyara reveal how adaptable they truly are. Even as water levels rise and fall, vervet populations remain stable in riverine forests, shifting their home ranges to cooler, food-rich areas with ease. Through these adaptive strategies, vervet monkeys become more than just forest dwellers. They become ecosystem engineers. They disperse seeds, they regulate insect populations, and they serve as living indicators of the forest's overall health. In this borderland between river and canopy, their resilience tells a deeper story of life, balance, and quiet intelligence thriving at the edge of the wild. From the towering treetops along the Rufiji River, a piercing cry echoes across the floodplain. It's the unmistakable call of the African fish eagle, Africa's avian anthem. With wings spanning nearly 2.5 meters, this striking raptor is instantly recognized by its snow-white head and chestnut body, a symbol of strength and elegance. They live in bonded pairs, nesting high above the riverbanks where dense riparian forests offer both shelter and a commanding view of their watery domain. Here, the African fish eagle reigns as both sentinel and hunter. Its hunting style is nothing short of spectacular, soaring high on thermal drafts, scanning the glimmering surface below. Then, in a sudden burst of power, it dives, talons outstretched, snatching fish up to 2 kilograms from just beneath the water's skin. In seconds, it lifts its prize skyward, retreating to the shore for a quiet feast. But this master of the skies is not above a little piracy. Opportunistic and cunning, it will sometimes steal catches from other birds, kingfishers, pelicans, flashing its dominance with calculated ease. As the dry season sets in and fish retreat into deeper pools, the eagle moves closer to the banks, its haunting call echoing louder through the thinning canopy. This voice, bold, resonant, and unforgettable, has earned it a title, the Voice of Africa. With an estimated 300,000 to 400,000 individuals across sub-Saharan freshwater systems, the African fish eagle is more than just a charismatic predator. It's an ecological barometer. Its presence signals a rich fish population and healthy riverine forests, a living testament to balance in the wild. Its foundations lie in the powerful East African Rift System, built layer by layer over millions of years. Floodplain silts and ancient sediments gave rise to a breathtaking diversity, from sweeping lowlands and dry savannas to lush miamba woodlands and seasonal marshes. Every corner of this park feels like a different world, where the wind carries whispers of geologic time, and the landscape holds stories older than memory. The region's tropical climate brings 2 rainy seasons, short rains from November to December, and longer, more intense rains from March through May. In between, the dry season, from June to October, torches the land, cracking riverbeds and scorching the plains. Temperatures remain steady throughout the year, ranging from 21 to 33 degrees Celsius. Rainfall varies widely, between 750 and 1,250 millimeters depending on the zone, each fluctuation shaping the land in new, unpredictable ways. During the dry months, the earth splits open beneath the heat, but with the rains, floodplains erupt with life. turning the landscape into a vivid, living canvas. Together, these natural rhythms have created one of Africa's last untouched ecological treasures. Nyerere is more than just a national park. It's a thriving biological reserve, home to over 2,100 species of plants and more than 430 species of birds. Each thrives in harmony with the land's distinct ecosystems, from sun-drenched savannas to whispering woodlands. Here, survival unfolds in powerful, untamed rhythms. And amid this wild, unspoiled expanse, far from the grip of roads, fences, or crowded settlements, nature breathes freely. Nyerere has become a precious refuge for species on the brink, a final haven for animals slipping quietly out of our world. Its pristine isolation and unbroken ecosystems act as a buffer, offering protection and space for life to persist where it may have vanished elsewhere. This is not just wilderness. It is hope. One of the most striking sights in this ecosystem is the bold striping of the plains zebra, Equus quagga. Its dramatic black and white pattern cuts sharply through the greenery, standing out like spontaneous brushstrokes across the vivid canvas of seasonal wetlands and floodplains. Following the rains, these zebras gather in large herds on the lush, moisture-rich grasslands. Here, newly sprouted shoots, dense with nutrients, blanket the plains in abundance, offering a feast for grazers. They often move alongside antelope species such as impala and lekwe, forming loose associations that provide mutual protection. While the antelope are quick to detect predators, the zebras offer strength in numbers and steady vigilance. In this symbiotic web of the grasslands, zebras also play a subtle but essential role as ecological path clearers. By consuming the taller grasses, they pave the way for smaller herbivores to reach the tender new growth concealed below, facilitating biodiversity with every bite. Data from a 2024 survey of the Selous-Nyerere region shows that plains zebra populations peak between December and March, coinciding with the height of the rainy season. As the landscape dries, they follow the water, seeking refuge along riverbanks and permanent waterholes where moisture still lingers. But these iconic stripes offer more than beauty. Each pattern is as unique as a fingerprint, helping individuals recognize one another. More remarkably, they serve as a natural deterrent against biting flies, like horseflies, and play a role in regulating body temperature, an essential adaptation in the searing heat and humidity of this ever-changing landscape. One of the most iconic sights in this lush ecosystem is the striking striping of the plain zebra. Bold black and white patterns ripple across their bodies, standing out vividly against the lush greens that follow the rains, like brushstrokes painted across the living canvas of wetlands and floodplains. Equus quagga often gather in large herds on these moist grasslands after the first seasonal showers, where young, nutrient-rich grasses burst forth in abundance. They are frequently seen traveling alongside antelope species such as impala and lekwe, benefiting from their companions' sharp instincts and early warnings of lurking predators. In this intricate web of life, zebras serve as ecological pathfinders. By feeding on tall grasses, they open up access for smaller herbivores to reach the tender shoots below. Survey data from 2024 reveals that zebra populations in the Selous-Nyerere region peak between December and March, in tandem with the height of the rainy season. As the dry months return, they retreat to areas with deeper water or follow the contours of riverbanks. But their stripes offer more than identity. They serve as a natural deterrent to biting insects like horseflies and play a surprising role in regulating body temperature, a vital adaptation in the seasonally hot and humid environment. A familiar figure in these seasonal wetlands and floodplains of Nair National Park is the African jacana, often called the bird that walks on water. With oversized feet and extraordinarily long toes, it defies gravity, stepping gracefully atop floating vegetation as if gliding effortlessly across the water surface. This remarkable adaptation not only captivates the eye, but allows jacanas to thrive in shallow waters dense with water hyacinths, places too precarious for most other species. Feeding on insects, tiny snails, and planktonic creatures, jacanas help regulate populations of bottom-dwelling organisms, playing a quiet but essential role in maintaining microbial balance in these temporary aquatic worlds. But perhaps most striking is their role reversal in parenting. Here, females court multiple males, while males take on the full burden of incubation and chick rearing, a rare dynamic among birds. In 2024 alone, over 30 waterbird species were recorded breeding in the Narera ecosystem, including black-winged stilts, white-faced whistling ducks, and squacco herons. This biodiversity underscores the vital importance of wetland zones in safeguarding waterbird life. Delicate in form, yet fiercely adapted, the African jacana embodies the fragile resilience that pulses through these fleeting but life-filled marshlands. As the seasonal marshes begin to recede and the skies fill with the silhouettes of departing migratory birds, life in Nair enters a new phase. This time, the rhythm shifts toward the park's southwest and northwest reaches, toward the hills and escarpment woodlands that rise like ancient sentinels from the landscape. Here, the terrain becomes a fortress of stone and silence, a rugged world of exposed granite outcrops, wind-worn trees, and tangled crevices, carved over time and held in quiet dignity. Bordering Tanzania's highland zone, this elevated refuge remains cool throughout the year, with temperatures ranging from 20 to 26 degrees Celsius. The air is thinner, the forest more secretive, and while the conditions appear harsh, this stable environment offers safe harbor for creatures that choose discretion over display. Less touched by the pulse of seasonal change, the rocky hills serve not just as a dry season sanctuary, but as a testament to the quiet endurance of Nair's most elusive wildlife. Within this stone-clad stronghold dwell some of Tanzania's and the continent's most sensitive and vulnerable species. Among them, the black rhinoceros. Unlike their cousins who roll open savannas, these rhinos favor the slopes, granite hills where thick shrub layers, broken woodlands, and rocky terrain cloak them in mystery. Here, they live not just hidden, but protected. This is one of the last places on Earth where black rhinos can persist in near total secrecy. Their story is not one of spectacle, but of silence. They move slowly, deliberately, threading through conifera thickets, marking their paths with tree scars and faint, dusty footprints on the sun-baked soil. Each day, they consume more than 20 kilograms of leaves and twigs, acacia, kafura, and other hardy shrubs. Methodically foraging as if mindful of the fragility of each breath they take. Their signature horn, iconic and curved, is more than a weapon, it's a tool. Used for digging, stripping bark, snapping branches, it helps them survive the dry, unyielding terrain. And in these remote outposts, far from human intrusion, they are finally free from the noise. No pursuit, no flash of camera, no need to run. Here, the black rhinoceros is allowed to be what it always was, wild, whole, and unchased. Yet this ancient creature walks the knife's edge of extinction. Its vulnerability lies not only in its dwindling numbers, but in the very nature of its life. The black rhino reproduces slowly, one calf every 4 to 5 years, with mothers nursing for up to 2. Even the loss of a single animal echoes for decades. They're solitary, lacking the safety of the herd. When danger comes, they are often too slow to respond, relying instead on terrain for defense rather than speed or strength in numbers. And then there is the horn. That singular feature, made of nothing more than compressed keratin, the same material as our fingernails, has become both their symbol and their curse. To poachers, it's worth more than gold. But to the rhino, it's a lifeline. Within the Ngorongoro crater, where death leaves its signature year-round, a small but essential scavenger quietly takes the stage, the hooded vulture. Delicate in build and weighing just under 2 kilograms, it's the smallest of Africa's vultures. Yet what it lacks in size, it more than compensates for in precision and persistence. Often the first to arrive at a carcass, and the last to leave, it plays a role that few others can. Unlike its imposing cousins, such as the white-backed or lappet-faced vultures, the hooded vulture is uniquely equipped with a keen sense of smell, a rare trait among Old World vultures. This adaptation allows it to detect remains from afar, especially in the early morning before thurvals rise and before predators stir from their slumber. Its beak, slender and tweezer-like, works with surgical accuracy. It navigates the narrowest crevices of a carcass, delicately extracting remnants overlooked by larger species. Bits of skin, soft tissues tucked deep within the skull, even the eyes and brain, no detail is wasted. Its small frame allows it to slip into tight spaces and reach the hidden depths of decay, leaving behind a cleaner landscape. By consuming the final scraps of flesh, the hooded vulture reduces the risk of deadly pathogens spreading. Diseases like anthrax, botulism, and rabies, which thrive in the crater's warm, microbe-rich air. As the great herds of wildebeest begin their migration westward in late March, chasing fresh grasses in the Serengeti, the hooded vultures stay behind. They do not follow the spectacle. They remain, tethered to what is left behind. Rooted in place, they bear silent witness to nature's unending cycle, of life, of death, and of renewal. On this unforgiving savanna, even the smallest scavenger plays a vital role in keeping the balance. Predators with thunderous roars and swift, decisive strikes. Mighty warriors ensuring the delicate balance of Africa's vast grasslands. The true rulers of the untamed savanna, lions. The throne of the savanna is never easily won. Only the strongest male claims victory, securing territory, a pride of lionesses, and the right to pass on his lineage. For the defeated, exile awaits. Some roam the wilderness alone, while others lose everything. In the world of lions, power is never given. It is seized, earned through razor-sharp claws and lethal bites. Young males, cast out from their birth prides, wander the unforgiving land, waiting for their chance. They form coalitions, setting their sights on powerful prides ruled by aging kings. When the moment comes, the savannah trembles. Roars thunder through the air as the battle runs. Claws tear, fangs strike, and thick manes offer little protection against the ferocity of a challenger. In this brutal world, only the strongest survive. Only the victorious earn the right to shape the future. Beneath the vast blue sky, the first light of dawn bathes the golden grasslands. Herds of wildebeest, zebras, and buffalo graze peacefully, unaware that danger lurks in the shadows. This is no tranquil paradise. It is a kingdom ruled by predators. And at the top reigns the lion. More than just an apex predator, it is a timeless symbol of strength and authority. Its journey of survival is etched into the very essence of the wild, a tale of power, resilience, and the unyielding spirit of the savannah. The savannah is a land where vitality and harshness intertwine. A vast expanse of rolling grasslands, scattered shrubs, and winding rivers cutting through dry plains. However, not every part of this landscape is suitable for lions. These apex predators require open spaces for hunting and movement, along with sparse woodlands and low bushes for cover and ambush. Dense forests and arid deserts do not provide the conditions necessary for lions to thrive. Lions depend on a reliable water supply and abundant prey to sustain their prides. This is why regions such as Kruger National Park in South Africa and the Ngorongoro crater in Tanzania have become strongholds for these majestic predators. In these ecosystems, food is plentiful, with vast herds of wildebeest, zebras, and buffalo roaming the plains. Rivers and wetlands serve as crucial water sources, helping lions endure the harsh dry seasons. Protected reserves like the Serengeti, Okavango Delta, and Kruger National Park now stand as some of the last bastions of the lion population. Yet, survival in the savannah is far from easy. Each day brings new challenges. Water sources dwindle, prey migrates with the seasons, and dangers lurk at every turn. Rival predators such as hyenas and leopards compete for resources, while even their prey, like powerful buffalo herds, can pose deadly threats. To rule this untamed land, lions rely on unique survival strategies. Unlike most big cats, which are solitary hunters, lions form social groups known as prides, drawing their strength not only from their physical prowess, but also from the deep bonds shared among pride members. A typical lion pride consists of 10 to 15 individuals, though in ideal conditions, it can grow to as many as 30. At the heart of the pride are the lionesses, mothers, sisters, and aunts, closely bonded through generations. They work together to hunt, raise cubs, and protect their family. The pride's adult males, often brothers or close relatives, defend their territory from intruders and rival coalitions, ensuring the pride's dominance over their domain. Life within a lion pride is about more than just hunting and defending territory. It is a delicate balance of power, cooperation, and deep social bonds. Gentle licks on golden fur and soft head rubs are not just grooming rituals. They reinforce unity, ease tension, and reaffirm each lion's place within the pride. Every interaction, from a reassuring nuzzle to playful sparring, strengthens their connection and fortifies the pride as a cohesive unit. The African savanna, with its endless grasslands stretching toward the horizon, serves as the grand stage for a timeless saga of resilience, strength, and unity. Amid this vast and often unforgiving landscape, lion prides stand as living symbols of dominance and survival. Each member plays a vital role, contributing to the pride's success in a story written by instinct, strategy, and cooperation. At the heart of the pride are the lionesses, the true backbone of their society. Silent, yet formidable, they are masterful hunters whose strategies have been perfected over generations. Responsible for approximately 85% to 90% of the pride's successful hunts, their coordinated efforts ensure the survival of all. But their role extends beyond the hunt. They were also nurturing and fiercely protective mothers. Raising lion cubs is a collective effort, with all lionesses sharing the responsibility of care, forming a natural nursery system where each cub is safeguarded and nurtured by multiple caretakers. Seemingly small gestures, like grooming or affectionate head rubs, hold deeper significance. These acts not only reinforce social bonds, but also help maintain harmony within the pride, reducing stress and strengthening relationships. Scientific studies have shown that such interactions lower cortisol levels, promoting overall well-being among pride members. In the heart of the wild, where survival is a relentless challenge, it is not just strength or ferocity that defines a lion pride. It is their unwavering unity, cooperation, and the powerful bonds that make them rulers of the savannah. In the wild, where survival is a relentless test, these tender moments of connection are profoundly significant. When their territory is threatened, lionesses do not hesitate. They fight fiercely to protect their cubs, their pride, and the food sources that sustain them. Though they lack the imposing manes of their male counterparts, their courage is unmatched. Within them beats the heart of a warrior. Lionesses are more than just defenders. They are the stabilizing force of the pride. Their presence embodies the perfect balance between strength and gentleness, between battle and nurture. Their lives are an unending journey of endurance. They hunt to feed the pride, raise the next generation, and stand ready to defend their home. Each day is a battle for survival, yet they persist with unwavering resilience and devotion. Across the vast savannah, where the sun blazes and the winds carry dust, the lioness remains the soul of the pride, an eternal symbol of strength, sacrifice, and the unbreakable bonds that define the wild. A male lion's offensive strategy doesn't always begin with violence. Instead, it often starts with quiet observation. Before engaging, lions assess their rivals by studying scent marks left on the grass and listening to distant roars, which can echo as far as 8 kilometers. These powerful calls serve as both territorial claims and warnings, cautioning intruders of the strength that lies within the borders. But when these warnings are ignored, war becomes inevitable. When battle erupts, male lions clash with raw, explosive force. Razor-sharp claws tear through thick hides, and their powerful jaws aim for the throat, the opponent's most vulnerable point. According to 2023 data from the Panthera organization, up to 25% of adult male lions lose their lives in territorial battles. These fights are not mere skirmishes driven by instinct. They are brutal, calculated struggles for power and survival. In these deadly encounters, a lion's mane is more than just a symbol of dominance. It is a natural shield, absorbing the impact of attacks and protecting the neck from fatal bites. But in a world where numbers matter, coordination is key. Coalitions of male lions use strategic formations, launching attacks from multiple angles to overwhelm their enemies. Some members charge head-on, while others flank from the sides or behind, exploiting weaknesses with precision. This synchronized assault often proves too much for a lone defender. Powerful coalitions systematically isolate a pride's reigning male, either forcing him into exile or killing him outright. In the end, only the strongest survive. Yet even for victors, power is fleeting. No male lion's rule is permanent. As age weakens their once dominant grip, younger, stronger coalitions rise to challenge the throne, continuing the relentless cycle of power. These shifts in dominance are not just inevitable. They are essential for the pride's survival. Only the fittest males can defend against constant threats: hyenas, leopards, and rival lions, all waiting for an opportunity to strike. This is the unforgiving reality of the African savanna, where male lions must fight, conquer, and endure to reign supreme. In the unforgiving world of the African savanna, leadership within a lion pride is never granted. It must be earned through fierce battles. Only the strongest and most resilient individuals rise to the top, securing not just territory, but also the ultimate prize, the right to pass on their genes to the next generation. Dominance within a pride is about more than leading a group of lionesses. It is the key to survival and legacy. Only the ruling males are allowed to mate, ensuring that their strength is passed down. This exclusive breeding right fuels the brutal and often fatal clashes between rival males, as challengers fight relentlessly to seize control. To maintain genetic diversity and prevent inbreeding, young males are forced to leave the pride of their birth. This marks the beginning of a grueling journey, not only to claim new territory, but to fight for the opportunity to sire offspring. However, a lone male lion rarely has the strength to challenge an established pride leader. To increase their odds of success, males often form coalitions, usually consisting of brothers or close relatives. These alliances provide both physical strength and strategic advantage, with coalitions having over a 60% higher chance of overthrowing dominant males compared to solitary challengers. The battle for mating rights is ruthless. These life-or-death encounters often end with the death of one rival or the humiliating retreat of the defeated. Male lions charge at each other with immense power, unleashing razor-sharp claws and crushing bites aimed at the throat, the opponent's most vulnerable point. According to Panthera, up to 25% of adult male lions die in territorial and mating battles. Yet power is always dangerous to hold. Over time, aging males weaken, becoming prime targets for younger, stronger coalitions. No reign lasts forever. Every battle not only determines who will lead, but also shapes the future of the pride, as only the strongest males are able to leave their genetic mark on the next generation. In the world of lions, where power and survival are inseparable, every action is driven by the instinct to preserve their lineage. These bloody battles are not just personal struggles, but an essential part of the ecological balance of the African savanna. Here, only the strongest endure, ensuring that their legacy lives on, through every echoing roar and every drop of spilled blood. In the vast expanse of the African savanna, where endless grasslands stretch to the horizon, life operates under unforgiving rules. Resources are often scarce, and during the relentless dry season, dwindling water supplies and a lack of prey intensify the struggle for survival. As competition heightens, every member of the pride faces an escalating battle for sustenance. For lions, food is more than just nourishment. It's a defining factor of social structure and survival. Large prey like buffalo and zebra serve as prized rewards for successful hunts. Yet not all members of the pride enjoy equal access. The distribution of food reflects the hierarchy within the pride, reinforcing the dominance of certain individuals. Male lions, with their strength and authority, are given priority at the kill, ensuring they maintain the power necessary to protect their territory and pride. Only after they have had their fill do the lionesses, silent warriors responsible for bringing down the prey, take their turn. Finally, the cubs are allowed to scavenge what remains, scrambling for the last scraps of meat. Their early experiences of fighting over leftovers serve as crucial lessons in survival and competition. Male lions, known for their impressive size and strength, can consume up to 25% of their body weight in a single meal, equivalent to roughly 80 to 130 pounds of meat. Their dominance at the kill site is enforced through sheer force, using their powerful bodies to push away lionesses and cubs. This priority feeding system ensures that those responsible for defending the pride remain in peak physical condition. However, feasting is not always orderly. When food is scarce, tensions rise, and competition turns brutal. Even within the pride, male lions may bare their teeth and lash out to secure their share, sometimes threatening the very lionesses that made the hunt successful. If the scarcity persists, internal conflicts erupt, with males battling one another for priority access to dwindling resources. Clawed swipes and earth-shaking roars echo across the savanna as dominance is contested. Lionesses, while typically patient, will fiercely defend their cubs if they sense a threat to their survival. When the pride's unity is tested, a mother's instinct can override the structured order, leading to confrontations between lionesses and aggressive males. The delicate balance of power is maintained by a constant negotiation of strength and necessity. A leadership change within a lion pride in the African savanna is a dramatic and often violent upheaval, shaking the foundations of power and triggering a cascade of consequences. When a new male lion takes control, his victory extends beyond territory. He must assert his dominance through a brutal process that ensures the continuation of his own bloodline. One of the most ruthless actions he takes is infanticide, systematically eliminating all cubs under 2 years old sired by the defeated male. Studies show that approximately 25% of lion cubs under 1 year old are killed during these transitions. The primary purpose of this act is to erase the lineage of the previous leader and force the lionesses back into estrus. Research indicates that within just 2 to 3 weeks of losing their cubs, lionesses become receptive to mating again, rather than waiting 18 to 24 months to raise their offspring. This allows the new dominant male to pass on his genes rapidly, ensuring his genetic legacy within the pride. For a lone lion, survival is an even greater challenge. Without the support of a pride, it must rely solely on its strength, instincts, and mastery of the terrain. Moving with quiet precision, it uses dry grass, dense bushes, and small mounds for cover. In the darkness, its amber eyes glow like twin embers, scanning the landscape for the slightest movement of potential prey. Lions are not built for long chases. Their bursts of speed, up to 50 miles per hour, last only seconds, making strategy their greatest weapon. They carefully select the most vulnerable target, a young wildebeest, a weakened zebra, or an unsuspecting gazelle. Within a pride, every hunt follows a calculated plan. One group advances silently, approaching from downwind to remain undetected. Another circles behind, cutting off all escape routes. Lions understand that distance is the key to success. They do not charge the moment prey is spotted. Instead, they use every patch of tall grass, every bush, and every natural crevice to close the gap to just 20 to 30 feet. But only when the moment is perfect, when there is no room for escape, do they launch their decisive strike. This level of coordination is not random instinct. It is the result of thousands of years of evolution and refined hunting strategies. Every step, every move, is a seamless blend of survival instinct and learned experience. An unbroken legacy of nature's most formidable predators. Enter the puff adder, Africa's infamous venomous snake, a master of ambush and a silent predator of the grasslands. Its name derives from its signature defense. When threatened, the puff adder inflates its body and releases a deep, menacing hiss, like air rushing through bellows, a final warning before it strikes. Armed with long, hinged fangs, it delivers a devastating bite. The venom is cytotoxic, causing severe tissue damage, blistering, and if untreated, the loss of a limb is a real possibility. Though it isn't the most venomous snake on the continent, 3 factors make the puff adder exceptionally dangerous. It's widely distributed, frequently found near human settlements, and unlike many other snakes, it rarely flees. Instead, it stays motionless, hidden in plain sight. This behavior makes it alarmingly easy for unsuspecting victims to step too close. According to the World Health Organization, the puff adder remains the leading cause of snakebite-related deaths in Africa, especially in the sub-Saharan regions that include the Serengeti. Yet even with its potent venom and impeccable camouflage, this formidable serpent is not invincible. Against one remarkable bird, the puff adder's stealth is no match. The name secretary bird carries 2 fascinating origin stories. One theory ties it to the image of a 19th century secretary, clad in gray with quill pens tucked behind the ear, mirroring the bird's sleek gray plumage and its elegant black crest feathers. The other traces its roots to the Arabic word sakarat, meaning hunter bird, a far more fitting description for this terrestrial raptor. Unlike most birds of prey that dominate the skies, the secretary bird rules the ground. It is a specialist in hunting snakes, even deadly ones like cobras and puff adders. Its secret weapon, a devastating kick. Armed with long legs and horn-covered feet, each strike lands with bone-crushing force, up to 5 times the bird's own body weight, and is delivered in under 15 milliseconds. Swift, powerful, and lethal. But it's not just brute force that defines this bird. It's precision. The secretary bird's attacks are often aimed with uncanny accuracy at the head or neck of its prey, neutralizing the threat in an instant. A hunter in both name and nature. The secretary bird is one of Africa's most extraordinary predators, elegant, efficient, and utterly fearless. Once the African wild dogs have fed, tearing their prey apart in a frenzied feast, they move on, leaving behind nothing but scraps of flesh and shattered bone. In their wake, black cloaked figures descend from the sky, like silent mourners at a funeral. These are marabou storks, creatures both eerie and essential. Nicknamed the Undertaker birds for their grim appearance, they play a vital ecological role as nature's cleanup crew. Shaped by millions of years of evolution, the marabou stork is a master of the scavenger's trade. Its head and neck are stripped of feathers, revealing blotchy pink skin, a biological adaptation that prevents infection when plunging deep into rotting carcasses. If covered in feathers, the fluids and bacteria from decay would cling and fester, turning survival into sickness. Like vultures, marabou storks walk a specialized evolutionary path, engineered not for the hunt, but for what comes after. They are among the largest flying birds on Earth, standing up to 1.5 meters tall, with wingspans stretching nearly 4 meters, wider than a family car is long. And yet, despite their massive size, they are built to soar. Hollow bones in their legs and toes lighten their frame, allowing them to ride thermal updrafts effortlessly. High above the savanna, sometimes soaring at over 4,500 meters, they glide with barely a wing beat, eyes scanning the grasslands for death. Often they work in tandem with vultures. While vultures use their hooked beaks to tear through tough hide, marabou storks employ their long, wedge-shaped bills to probe deep into crevices, extracting the remains others cannot reach. When a carcass is too tough to open, they wait, patient, opportunistic, and when the moment is right, they will even fight for a fragment of meat. This quiet cooperation and occasional competition forms a scavenger hierarchy, ensuring no part of a kill is wasted. More than mere opportunists, marabou storks are essential to the balance of the ecosystem. By consuming carrion, they cleanse the environment of rot and disease, recycling death back into life.